I won't just survive, oh, you will see me thrive, can write my story.
Welcome to Better Hope Action Network Against Poverty. I am Ms. Crystal Joseph, our campaign manager. We also have with us Ms. Maria Ramdas, our advocacy director, Ms. Patricia John, our coordinator, and Ms. Lynette Moore, our public relations manager. We invite you as we present our NGO which supports Caribbean families in crisis. What exactly is an NGO? Well, NGO stands for Non-Governmental Organization, and they advocate for human rights and humanitarian actions. It is an organization that has been legally constituted independently of the government. With the job losses and the decline in the oil and gas in Trinidad and Tobago, many families have been fallen into relative poverty, especially that of the Johnsons. They are in crisis and they have nowhere to turn to. They have been faced with violence, they have been faced with discrimination and isolation from high-income families. The Better Hope Action Network has been developed to eradicate poverty against these families. Our coordinator will now present on our beliefs and values.
At Better Hope Action Network Against Poverty, we strive to indulge ourselves in activities that involve the full pledge and commitment of each member in our organization. As such, I will be explaining our core values. Integrity. In order to denote ourselves as being trustworthy to the families we assist, all families will be treated equally. More importantly, we do not turn away any family that seek assistance from us, as we maintain our mission objectives in delivering basic services to all. Empowerment. We will assist and ensure that all children attend school and is given after-school assistance by collaborating with the teachers at Bright Sparks Elementary. Community. An ethical and cooperative relationship will be established with the businesses we seek to solicit from, as this will guarantee the families that the community also cares about them. Good stewardship. Accountability and transparency will be maintained in our organization through the financial statements, which will be made publicly via flyers and community notices aired on ZJB television and radio station. Lastly is equity and equality. Delivering equity and equality is the main purpose of this organization, for our mission is governed by the core values of equity and equality. Therefore, all families will be given the same support, care, and love.
We cannot function without a vision, a mission, and objectives. Therefore, Better Hope Action Network Against Poverty is a non-profit organization that believes in creating equity and equality for underprivileged children and their families across Trinidad and Tobago through the delivery of basic services. The work of the organization is to provide equal opportunities to children between the ages of 0 to 8 who come from low-income families and have been socially isolated. We as a group hope to restore and break that vicious cycle of poverty through education and assistance from other agencies. We believe that each child has an equal right to a quality education and should be given the opportunities to live and develop and become an active and productive member of the society. The diversity, inclusion, and sense of social justice makes the Better Hope Action Network Against Poverty an influential leader in the issues of family in crisis in Trinidad and Tobago. Our objectives are to contribute to the reduction of poverty in the community, to work to enhance holistic development of underprivileged children and their families in Trinidad and Tobago, to initiate pioneer programs and strategies for development to support the community in helping itself, and to interact with various stakeholders to maximize the effectiveness of the organization and its impact.
Agencies we will be partnering with is Kids in Need of Direction, also known as KIND. It was founded in 1996 with a vision to support the holistic development of children. The organization was registered as an NGO on April 24th, 1998, and it was also given the charitable status by the Ministry of Finance of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago on the 21st of August 2001. They have assisted approximately 15,000 families and children by providing the resources they need to excel in education. Their mission is to empower children and transform lives. And this is reflected in their devotion to ensuring that all children, regardless of their circumstances, has a right to education. They have worked with many children around Trinidad and Tobago by improving their education, physical well-being, and social development through counseling, healthcare, and literacy. By partnering with KIND, Better Hope Action Network Against Poverty is able to uphold their mission by providing the opportunities and services for poverty-stricken families. Now, why did we decide to choose KIND? According to UNICEF, a child has a right to education despite their circumstances. KIND is an NGO that makes this possible through the programs that they offer. Some of these programs include Sponsor a Child to Learn program, which helps children by reducing the barriers to their education through the provisions such as food, school supplies, and transportation for families in need.
On an international scale, Book for Kids, founded in 1986, will recognize that children are vulnerable and do not have adequate access to age-appropriate books. The organization has developed 3 programs that cater to the needs of children: Lending Library Program, Build a Home Library Program, and Storytime Program. Their mission is to promote literacy among low-income and risk preschool age children to develop foundation skills for children to be successful. Poverty has been linked to low literacy and unemployment. To eradicate poverty in the community and as a whole Trinidad and Tobago, it is evident that we must ensure that children get a quality education. To do so, it is imperative that children be given the opportunities to develop their literacy skills. The organization donates books to children who cannot afford, as well as establish a library in the community. This initiative brings together volunteers and early childhood experts from the community to build literacy skills through puppet shows, arts and crafts, and group readings. The organization has introduced technology into the library to broaden the children's horizon and give families access to information and other resources that can benefit them. Through collaborating with Books for Kids, the organization's viewpoint is reiterated that through access, equality, and equity, children and their families are able to get the opportunities that they need. UNICEF beginnings, last but not least, were in 1946 and have grown enormously for the past 70 years. They believe in the right of all children's survival and fulfilling their potential. UNICEF develops programs, campaigns, and policies and works daily to reach the most vulnerable children. This work is expanded through 190 countries. Their driving force is the delivery of results, eradication of poverty, equity, access, and equality to children and young people. It was created with a clear purpose in mind, and that is to overcome the obstacles that poverty, violence, disease, and discrimination place in a child's path. We partnered with UNICEF because our interests and strengths are aligned. That is, we seek to ensure that all children, irrespective of their differences in their social class status, have fair and equal opportunities. There was a willingness to learn about each other's issues and concerns, and through communication, BAN was able to adopt an effective and common approach to addressing them.
The purpose of a mandate is to stimulate the organization to think beyond its short-term goals and to reiterate the obligations that the organization highlighted in its vision and objectives. Now we evaluate the Better Hope Action Network Against Poverty by these criteria. Do we have a realistic setting of our expected results? Our careful assessment of the capacity of our affiliations? Do we have a specific definition of the problem that is to be addressed? Is there a coherent implementation strategy that has been linked to the objectives, information sharing, and allocation of resources? Since registration in June 2008, the organization continues to work to build capacity and have sought assistance from other agencies. We are passionate about what we do, which is central to the progress and success of the Better Hope Action Network Against Poverty. We are working on our fundraising, community mobilization, and monitoring efforts to ensure that we meet our goals and objectives that has been set out in the mission and vision statement. As such, we have plans to conduct rallies and seminars to educate the community, the country, and others on our past, present, and future activities. Better Hope Action Network Against Poverty hopes that we can influence the government and other policymakers to provide needed assistance to low-income families in our communities in Trinidad and Tobago. So, donate now. Be the reason for a smile.